everyone. Welcome to Cocktail History. I'm Stephanie Kibler, director here at the Freeborn County Historical Museum, Library and Village. Joining me is Rachel Lilienthal, who handles our exhibits and collections here at the museum. We are exploring history of cocktails with a flair of Freeborn County history. We're in episode 13. Wow.
No,
12.
12.
It's episode 12. I think we do
Does
this.
it?
I think we do this every episode. Which one are we on?
Yeah.
So I kind of like these. Today we're featuring a drink called the Monkey Gland. And when we had this drink come to our attention, we were like, "Oh, we have
a monkey here, which we'll
in
get
our
to.
collection." Yes,
Yeah.
so that could be a great tie-in, which it is. However, the Monkey Gland is a weird,
Odd and kind of gross. Really, it is gross.
a weird connection.
It's like a mad medical scientist deal.
So this is what I kind of liked with this. Humanity loves the taboo, whether it be suggestive names, experimental surgery, or banned substances. And the Monkey Gland has all three. Suggestive names, Monkey Gland.
I said it to my sister-in-law. She went, "Oh, why would you want
Right?
to have something that has gland in the name?"
Banned substance, Absinthe, the Green Fairy.
Yes.
Experimental surgery, and I don't even know if I can say.
You said it nicely.
Late 19th century, early 20th century, Dr. Sergei Voronov, who was a French surgeon of Russian descent.
Yeah, so he was born in Russia, but he moved to France.
Yes. Okay, here goes. This is a 21 and older show, people. He gained fame for his technique of grafting reproductive organs of monkeys onto aging men who were hoping to recapture their youthful vigor. Technique brought him a great deal of money, even though he was independently wealthy already.
Right.
But he went from being highly respected to a subject of ridicule. Other doctors and the public at large quickly distanced themselves, fled from his presence. And if you Wikipedia Dr. Sergei Voronov, Voronoff,
Voronov, I would think.
just go.
And it's odd because there are some points where he has like the before and after pictures. He had like a whole book of like before the surgery and then like a year later after. It's very odd because you can't really see much of a difference. I think it's just angles and
He did a lot of experimental surgeries with animals, a lot. Today he probably would be jailed for what he had done.
Yes.
It was, but it did lead us to our little monkey puppet. And the Monkey Gland drinks kind of came out of the, what it said was, if you didn't have the money needed for this little procedure, you could head over to the bar for a dash of another illicit aphrodisiac, the Green Fairy herself. The Monkey Gland is proof that the right name is key to cocktail fame, because it took off, apparently. There are two bartenders that are credited with it. Harry McElhone of Harry's New York Bar Paris, who's
That's the
also,
one I knew about.
also got the, oh gosh, what's the bar book called?
Barflies.
He's got one of the most famous bartending guides. And Frank Meyer of the Ritz in Paris, over the Washington Post, published in 1923 a special cable dispatch from Gay Paris in anticipation of the busy tourist season. Frank, the noted concoctor behind the bar of the Ritz, has devised a new series of powerful cocktails, favorite of which is known as the Monkey Gland. Okay. So that was published in the Washington Post in 1923. So that's where the conversation has come into play on who actually did it.
Yeah.
They did go on to recommend that the drink only be served with a doctor present.
Because it was so potent, or?
I don't know. I mean, so we'll get down to our mix here. It's 2 ounces. Oh, I did not get ice out.
No!
Do you want to grab the bag of ice and we'll get a bowl? And I did just wash my hands.
Me too.
That should be good. All right, sorry about that, guys. So the drink calls for gin, which we're using the Bombay Sapphire again.
Of course.
Fresh orange juice. So we went old school and actually did fresh squozen orange juice today. We used the Cara oranges, which Hy-Vee has on sale. Incredibly good oranges. Very sweet, very good flavor to them. It takes grenadine. So we also made our own grenadine today. And I was under the illusion grenadine was maraschino cherry juice. It's not. It's pomegranate. So we used a little pomegranate juice and some sugar and an orange peel twist and cooked up our own grenadine today. And we're gonna feature that in the next few weeks.
Yeah, because
It's got a 3 to 4 week lifespan. So next week we're gonna change it up. Should we give a hint? Should we tell them what we're doing?
maybe we could give a hint. It's like Baby Take a Bow. If you know that reference, you'll know what we're making.
Yeah, so we're switching it up a little bit. And next week's episode actually is family friendly.
Oh, yeah.
Not that we're not family friendly,
Child friendly.
but child friendly.
Not talking about monkey glands.
Yeah, and other alcohol issues or things. So we take a little bit of ice and 2 ounces of gin. I don't know, what should I do? Do you think I can do 4 of these? To do 2 drinks in one with this, maybe?
Try it. Let's try it.
So it's 2 ounces each drink. The original recipe, which is the one we're gonna follow, I think we're gonna have too much. Sorry, we'll figure it out. So the original recipe also says 2 ounces of orange juice. The newer version says 1 ounce of orange juice.
Oh.
But we're gonna go with the 2.
Yeah, let's go with the original, just to see.
Just because this is history. This is such a pretty color. Can you see how it's much oranger than what you buy if you buy an orange juice in the store?
This is so odd because we switched places this week.
Oh good, there's a little left over.
Yay!
And then we take 1/2 ounce per drink for the grenadine. So we're gonna do a full ounce. Look at that,
That is a
color.
pretty color.
Oh my gosh.
It's kind of syrupy.
Yeah, it's got a ton of sugar in it. And while I'm doing this, you are gonna want to do an absinthe rinse in the glasses. So just a little dribble, you can just pour it right back into the, you pour it in and you swish your glass and then just dump what's left back in.
Back in here?
No, into the bowl.
Nice.
Just stuff it
I
nice.
was like, whoa, I need a filter.
Get it up on the sides. Oh goodness, you've got enough in there. May I show you something?
Yes, please.
So if you're gonna rinse your glass,
Just spilled it, it's fine. I'm a hands-on learner. Oh my.
that's what we're about here, hands-on learning. We totally are. I don't know if anybody read the newspaper article on Wednesday, but Albert Lee Tribune was out and we took them through and showed them a lot of our hands-on stuff that we've got made available. Ooh,
Oh wow.
I think I got a little pulp up there.
Expanded.
It's pulp. So then we add an orange twist to our glasses
Ooh.
and just do a little pour. It's actually really pretty.
That is pretty.
It's got it. I did the, we did our orange juice ourselves, so it's pulpy. And I did buy a pomegranate in case we wanted to just add some pomegranate seed
Like
in.
a Jenna?
Like a Jenna, taking a little cue from
When we
Jenna.
did the pink lady. Ooh, that's fun. I like that.
And then the other thing they said you could do is add a cherry if you wanted to also have a cherry in here. I kind of liked that it wasn't I like that it was that we're going with the original, other than the pomegranate seed,
Right.
because there's. So anyway, cheers.
Cheers.
It smells really good.
I like this one.
That is really good.
Mhm. It's like juice.
Yeah,
You could just
So I'm guessing like the new recipe where it's down to 1 ounce of orange juice,
they wanted a little bit more.
more of the
alcohol.
gin taste.
Sure.
But I like this as
No.
a nice. It's a nice fresh,
Mm-hmm. It's nice and sweet.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Tying with
our
our
monkey.
This is one of our kind of popcorn moments that we had. We heard Monkey Gland and said, we have a monkey puppet. Like, just pop over to that. And these two are both
Stife.
puppets, stuffed animals that a puppeteer from this area modified himself and used. I'm going to start with the Stife though. That actually was a company made in Germany by either Marguerite is the name that I would be normally used to hearing, but if you're speaking German, I think it might be Margareta.
That could be.
Stife, she was born in 1847. When she was 8 months old, she got a fever. And that somehow caused her to end up being paralyzed from the waist down, and it was really difficult for her to use her right hand. So she grew up and pushed through that pain in her right hand to become a seamstress. Like, you have to use both hands.
Well, it's probably a little therapeutic too.
Well, maybe. Yeah. Could be.
I would think it would.
Help with that movement and sure, gaining the strength.
The
and that
muscle
back
tone
too.
back a little bit.
Could be. But yeah, she then was pushed to become a little bit more independent. She was in a wheelchair in the 1800s, and she ended up having her own kind of studio, and she started making felt clothes, and then she made a felt elephant, kind of little toy.
But she didn't make it as a toy at first.
Right.
She made it as a pincushion.
Yeah.
Which is so awesome.
It's so cute. I love that.
I thought that was fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she found it in a magazine. The designer in a magazine.
And then that sold thousands.
And
of
not
one
just for
piece.
pincushions.
No,
It's-
as a toy.
Yeah.
For kids. And then that ended up becoming a multi-billion, million, I don't know which, but probably billion, manufacturing company.
And it's, you can still buy
Right.
stuffed animals today. They make lovely, shower gifts. They're beautiful stuffed animals.
And they actually were the ones who made the teddy bear. They didn't name it teddy bear, but her
Right.
brother was the one her nephew designed the teddy bear.
Which he's interesting. They got a big boost in sales when he came on board. He created stuffed animals from drawings made at the zoo,
Right.
which is so great.
Yeah.
Which now, here's a popcorn. Goes to one of my favorite cartoons.
Okay.
Is Curious George Goes to the Zoo.
Aww. I'm curious, George.
And he draws at the zoo. The man with the yellow hat. And so
Aw.
George tries to draw too, but he ends up getting into mischief.
Oh, of course he does. That's
And
what he
did you
likes.
see how I tied Curious George into the monkey
He's
gland?
a monkey. Oh my goodness.
Wish I had a big yellow hat. That is one of my favorites is when Curious George goes to the zoo.
That's really cute.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and this is by 1907, Steiff had manufactured 974,000 bears.
Holy cow.
That's
That's a lot.
a lot of bears.
A lot. Especially, I feel like at that time period too, with the materials that they had and the time that they had to get really into that industrial revolution stuff.
I have a couple of homemade bears that are a similar pattern to with the jointed hips. And my sister, my older sister, who grew up in Geneva, got into making bears, and by the time and bunnies. By the time she'd done them, so she gave them all away, then she started just building and building and building, and had kind of a workshop going, and ended up donating them to a domestic violence shelter.
Oh, that's sweet.
But they're beautiful, kind of like the Steiff. Steiff? Steiff. I want to say Steiff. It's Steiff, and
In German, it would be Steiff.
and I'm not German. So yeah, that takes a lot. 974,000 bears. That's why the toy business is an $80 billion business
I
annually.
guess, yeah. Takes a lot. But we have two Steiff items. Now you're making me question it.
Sorry.
Here we have Bully the Bulldog, and I think he's a kind of form of Jocko the Monkey. Because when you look up Jocko the Monkey, there's plain ones, there's ones that have like a little red hat. This guy, he's got this little pom-pom kind of hat with a ribbon, which...
The ribbon looks authentic to him.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Does it not?
It could be. I don't know. It could very easily have been removed too. I don't know.
I guess. I don't know.
I haven't seen one with a ribbon.
Okay.
But the guess is that our puppeteer from this area, who Marion, he was called Spike, Groten Hoos?
I would say it's Groten Hoos.
Groten Hoos?
Groten Hoos or
Okay.
Groten Hoos.
Okay.
It's GROTENHUIS.
Yeah.
Spike.
We're calling him Spike. He had these puppets, and he definitely modified this one for sure.
Yeah.
Because the eyes are different than the
Right.
Steiff Bulldog, and he turned it into a marionette.
Yeah.
So here we have the marionette.
Are you tall enough to lift you? Not there.
I'm so short. He's spinning.
The really neat thing about that little guy was that he still has his original tag on him.
Yes, he does.
So
Up
he
at the
was
front
easy
here.
for us to track.
Very easy to identify.
And he's in really good condition.
He is.
Other than the googly red eyes, I'm not quite.
Maybe he was a
Do you-
bad guy in the Puppeteers.
I wonder are his original eyes underneath those.
Oh,
We didn't check that out.
oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be.
The sad thing about the monkey is he's got a spot, you can see where his tag was inside, and you can see it was a Steiff tag.
Right.
But it is, there's no text.
It's been cut other
Yeah.
than that part.
Probably
Yeah.
was irritating though, if you're gonna
Yeah,
play
and
with
the
it.
hand, because this one's a hand puppet instead of
Right.
a marionette.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if he didn't add the pom-pom, maybe the ribbon.
Mm-hmm, maybe.
Yeah. So,
Spike, as he grew, so I've got two pieces of information.
okay, cool.
One, that he was a part owner at Hollandale Hardware. The other, that he just worked there.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure. But he was known locally as the Grand Master of Puppeteering.
Oh my.
But
He
you know
wasn't
what?
an Uber marionette?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, it's like, have you heard of Wagner?
Yeah?
Okay, people called him an Uber marionette because he was the kind of director that had to make sure, like in theater, that everybody was doing exactly what he wanted every single step of the way, every single second.
No, he was not. He actually took puppetry classes from a teacher who came down from the University of Minnesota.
Oh, cute.
So I don't know if it's a formal Grand Master is a formal name for a puppeteer.
Oh, is it like clown college, but it's puppet college?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's it's an art form, right?
Well,
so you
yeah.
probably have to know how to build, how to move, what your fingers do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of skill. It's not
It's a lot of
Hand
steps.
puppets would be my way. That'd be a lot easier, but if you're doing the marionette kind of, yeah, I don't know. And he and his wife, she also became a puppeteer. And they founded the Puppet Club of Albert Lea.
Is that still in?
I don't know.
Session?
I
That
do
sounds
not
fun.
know. But, and it was for adults.
Really?
Yes. So it was isn't that, which could be, God, if anybody's interested in a puppet club, let us know. That could be a fun museum program. We would be happy to try to offer something there.
Yeah.
That could be really fun. We could do a children's one too down the road, but an adult puppet class would be super fun. He also directed numerous choirs, including the Navy nurses, Navy hospital
Really?
nurses.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
which that's really lovely.
Aw.
A lot of, I think it was Presbyterian Church. He did some choirs and, yeah. So that was really sweet.
That is sweet. I
Mhm.
like that.
I kind of got ahead of Risha. Usually
did.
she's ahead of me on this stuff.
She like held her papers to her.
Yes,
she was like
I'm
walking
like,
in. She was like, "Did you see this?" I
Did
said,
you-
"No." Oh no.
So I did. Linda Evenson down the library did give me a picture. So here's Spike, and then he's puppeteering with the children, which I thought that was really a really cute picture. That was kind of fun.
That is fun.
His wife is interesting too.
Oh really?
Did you know anything about her?
No, I didn't. Oh my gosh, tell me.
So his wife Ida was a grade school teacher.
Okay.
Here and in North Dakota, and back in the 90s she did a showing at the Albert Lea Arts Center of over 200 Valentine cards that she'd saved from when she taught in the 1920s.
Holy cow.
I wish I had photos of the show, because I think that would be really fun, but or I wish we had the cards,
Yes.
because that would be really fun. But she took her first teaching position at 18 in the Badlands of North Dakota, and this had to be in the late, didn't say, must have been the early 20s. She said it was the best experience, but it was so lonely. She only lasted a year, and came and taught at Hollandale for a year, returned to North Dakota for 2 years, but told Hollandale if a principal position opened up, I'd come back.
Okay.
It must have, because she came back after 2 years. And this is from a newsletter article. She said, "It's a good thing I did.
Aw.
For when she returned to Hollandale, there was a young man working in the hardware store.
My.
She and Spike met, and it was almost love at first sight."
Gross.
I thought that was just really cute. And they ended up being in a play together, and then dating, and marrying, and going out to raising a family together, and puppeteering together. And
Aw. So she was also a puppeteer.
she was also a puppeteer.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's
So-
much more wholesome than the Monkey Gland. origin.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you start with one, what did they call it at the beginning here? Experimental surgery, and end up with love at a hardware store in Hollandale. Things happen. Yeah. And they did a lifelong together project of puppeteering through Albert Lea.
That's really cute.
Yeah. And I'm sure it was a blast.
Cute and gross.
If they both had a passion for the puppets and children, I bet you they had a blast doing the shows, and yeah. I was trying to come up with, we don't really have any other monkey related items that we know of.
No. Yeah. That's why it was like, oh, a monkey.
The other thing though, so he worked in a hardware store, they met in a hardware store. One of our first projects this spring is gonna be the hardware store. We started in the fall.
Yes. They
A little bit of
had
paint.
Really good volunteers redo the deck. Fantastic.
Yes, the deck was all spongy. And,
Yep. you could bounce on it.
And the
So it's
step, you couldn't even put your foot on the whole foot on the step.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so then the next step is finishing the exterior and getting inside there. So stay tuned. The other project this spring, Ida was a school teacher,
Right.
and we've sort of been
Schoolhouse.
sprucing up the schoolhouse a little bit. So both of those should have a little fresh look ongoing through the next, probably through the fall of 2021. I'm gonna guess we'll work on those through the fall.
Probably.
You'll be able to tour them off and on. They may close for a week or two here, but
Yeah.
yeah, lots going on.
All the time. I do like this though.
This is really nice. And I think a big part of that is those oranges.
Yeah.
And
Oh, these are really good oranges.
really good oranges.
Mhm.
So Cara, C-A-R-A, and they're like 48 cents a pound right now at Hy-Vee. They're like a short season with a Cara orange. And making the Grenadine took all of 15 minutes, no corn syrup in it, so it's,
Nice.
and the color is just beautiful compared to what you get at
Yeah.
a store.
She made it and she did a wonderful job on it.
That's what I
I'm
said.
not taking any credit. You
we-
said we, but she made it.
Everything here is a we.
It's the royal we.
It's a joint effort. It's a joint effort for everything we do. But yeah, so I guess we hope you join us next week. I think next week will be really fun.
Yes. I'm yes.
And feel free if you want to have kids watch
Mhm.
next week. It will be extremely appropriate. They might enjoy some of the items that we're showing.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we'll have a little fun. A little Grenadine. What we're doing next week, you all have tasted one. I can tell you that right now.
Probably.
Yes.
I did when I was a kid.
Every
Wedding. That's another clue for you. A wedding. This drink will be there for kids.
Yep. Every restaurant, almost every restaurant. Not fast food places, I
No.
guess, but
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, join us next week. I highly recommend trying the Monkey Gland beverage, and have a great weekend. Cheers.